Welcome to the Lift and Glow Fitness Podcast, the health and fitness podcast for women who want to look great and feel great for good. Whether your goal is to lose weight, build muscle, or you just want to be the healthiest version of yourself, the advice that we share here is going to help you do that by building habits that stick without sucking the fun out of your life. Before we get stuck in today's episode, please make sure to hit subscribe so that you don't miss any future episodes from us. So shall we talk about some comfort eating?
Yeah.
Yeah, comfort eating, very common problem that we all struggle with.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to say that I don't comfort eat. I
am
do.
a comfort eater.
I do. And like Pete will glare at me and go, stop reaching for the chocolate. I'm like, okay.
I feel like I've become self-aware in the last few years.
Yeah.
And like, I just notice that if I'm not in a great headspace, I'm in the cupboards.
Yeah.
I'm skipping meals. Like,
It's distracting yourself with like food, isn't it, basically?
Yeah. Like I'll when I'm in like a bad space, it's like self-care goes out the window. Obviously still got to wash and all that, but like it's like I don't feed myself
health
properly.
side of things,
I don't feed myself properly with the meals, and I'm just like in the cupboard snacking. And I do notice that, and I recognise that about myself. So like I've never met a person who doesn't comfort eat in some way. Obviously, some people eat less when they're really stressed and stuff, and I do think that I can be like that as well. But we all
love to be like that sometimes.
I know I'm not,
because I am a huge comfort eater.
Nothing makes me lose my appetite.
Yeah.
I find as well, like, supposed to go hand in hand, like obviously to have them in the cupboards. But if I go to Aldi and do a food shop when I'm in like a bad mood or I'm stressed or whatever, I pick up all the chocolate
I
and the
eat
biscuits.
it in the shop.
Do you?
Yeah, I'm giving them wrappers to scan.
I'm eating this.
Honestly,
I've drunk this bottle of wine, joking.
Yeah, put the bottle of vodka through.
Don't judge me getting in my car. I'm not
Sorry.
mad, yeah, no, I
Bridget
think
Jones
it's one of those things, isn't it, that we have to accept. Human beings do it, and I think one of the things that we have to come to terms with is that it's normal. And that don't like beat yourself up for doing it, because it is part of dealing with your emotions or whatever.
Yeah.
I actually wouldn't say it's part of dealing with your emotions. I would say it's part of suppressing
an
and ignoring
emotion.
your
Yeah.
emotions.
It's because you're not dealing with them.
Yeah, it's because you're not dealing with
It's a distraction,
them.
like I said before, that's what it is.
Exactly.
Yeah, it is.
You're just distracting yourself with food. So I try not to be like, oh, I need to stop, and try and like think, okay, so what is actually happening? Like, why am I
like this?
Why am I doing this?
There is a reason for it.
Yeah, is there a reason? Because a lot of the time, so like a client will be like, oh no, I feel all right, I'm not stressed. I'm like, you are, love.
Something's going on.
Something's going on. You're not telling me, you don't need to.
No.
Yeah.
But you need to figure that out for yourself, because something is going on. There's a reason why you're not, feeling great, or you're making decisions that aren't in line with what you're trying to achieve. So it's like this. What I usually say to people who are struggling with comfort eating is that we need to try and find another outlet for your emotions.
Yeah.
And it's not eating food. Eating food. So when you comfort eat, do you feel better?
No.
And
you just wanted to go for more.
Yeah.
Like more food.
But it doesn't make you feel
It's like
better.
a vicious
It doesn't take
circle,
away the stress
I
or
think.
No, it doesn't take away the stress,
Or the
doesn't take away
problem.
the problem,
No.
doesn't make you any happier.
Yeah.
No.
You have this momentary bit of joy
Happiness.
or pleasure.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you're like, oh, fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I actually think it
Makes
keeps
you
you
feel worse.
stuck in the piss.
It,
It
it
makes
does.
you feel worse.
It really does.
Because whatever was stressing you out anyway, or, causing the bad mood, you're then like, fuck's sake, I've just eaten that, like that.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have been what not that we get cross when we've eaten stuff, but
But when
it just
you're in
makes you more
that
frustrated.
headspace,
Yeah.
it would.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, I was saying before, this has been probably going on for about 3 months with me now, like being a comfort eater. And I think, like, you can't beat yourself up about it. Which, to be honest, I haven't really beat myself up about it, but I've been aware as to why I am comfort eating. And like you said, it's very important to be aware of your emotions. But then at some point, you cannot stay in this any longer. Like, it's only been the last week or two, I'd say, like, I've snapped myself out of it.
Yeah.
But I was saying to you before, like, I know people say, I've got no willpower, but when you comfort eat, there's got to be a time where you've got to start having these conversations with yourself and being like, okay, right, do I actually need this? Why do I want this? Am I hungry? Do I need a little minute? Go and brush your teeth, go to bed. That's what I was doing the other day. And it's about like having them conversations with yourself before just going to get that food when you are feeling like that.
Yeah.
It's like what you said, didn't you? Like power of the pause, like pause.
Yeah.
That's what you
stop.
said, wasn't it? Yeah, power of the pause, like stop. Like I've done it myself. Like I've opened the fridge and I've gone to grab like mini eggs or something, and I've gone, no, I literally don't need that. And I've shut the fridge again. Otherwise, you just if you're mindlessly doing it,
Yeah.
you're
Becomes
going to
like
end up
a
1,000
habit.
calories in.
I feel like it becomes a habit to
Yeah,
you.
it
If
is.
you're stuck in this like comfort eating and emotional eating, like the end of the night, I'm open, go to bed sort of thing. Just go into the cupboard, get a bar
your
of
Ben and
chocolate.
Jerry's.
yeah, get the Ben and Jerry's, cry into the Ben and Jerry's. But like at some point, it's got to be like you do have to have that little minute, have a little pause, have a conversation with yourself, and be like,
Pep talk with yourself.
yeah, have a pep talk with yourself. Do I need this? Like, am I going to feel better for it? No. Do you feel like shit for comfort eating? Yeah. So it's about trying to break that habit, isn't it?
I find like I'll distract myself, like especially if I'm at home, working from home in the afternoon, and I'm in one of those moods, and I'm like, right, I can't look at the fridge. Like it does, like we said before, eating doesn't get rid of the problem, and neither does this. But I always find like going on a walk and just like getting outside or listening to like, you say your Happy Hayley playlist, and okay, it doesn't solve the problem, but it does just make it feel lighter, I think, most of the time anyway. And it also gives you that headspace to think about it and be like, okay, actually it's not as bad as what you're making it out to be.
Yeah.
This is what you need to do, or this is what is going to happen. And, just have a bit of a, like, what's the word? Like a break the problem down kind of in your head while you're walking.
I still have, like, I always have times where I emotionally eat, and there's been loads of stuff been going on in the last few years where I've just found myself in these like frames of mind. And I think one thing that you have to get really good at, because life is hard, do you know what I mean? There's all sorts of stuff going on all of the time, work, personal life, just it's overwhelming. There's a lot, it can be intense, and I think you have to call yourself out, so like, and remind, like, actually say to yourself, is this helpful? So I'll allow myself to do a little bit of comfort eating, but then I'll be like, hang on a minute, like, you're not helping yourself.
Yeah.
You need to pack this in.
Like,
now,
what am
you
I
had
doing?
yesterday, you felt sorry for yourself yesterday, you let yourself do it, now crack on, sort it out. One thing that I always speak to my clients about is the productive and the destructive route. I don't know if you have heard me speak about this before, but basically when we're faced with like stressful situation, emotional situation or anything like that, we can look at it and think, well, what's the actual, like, I'm feeling this emotion, I'm feeling this stress. Well, what's actually a productive thing that I could do, and what's a destructive thing that I could do? So the destructive thing would be to
Go to the cupboards.
go to the cupboards, raid the cupboards, skip meals, miss your workout, go to bed, turn all the lights off, and just not, just stay in the pit.
Yeah.
I think we need to do little bits of wallowing. Don't get me wrong,
But
I also think that there's a limit to it. You have to eventually
Can't
pull
do it for
yourself
weeks.
out of that, and you have the power to, and have the control to. And like, I struggled with this. End of 2023, I was like, can't leave the house, can't do anything, can't, I understand what it feels like, but you have to be like, give your head a wobble, girl. Like, there's a big life in front of you, like, sort it out. So you've got your destructive route, and I think just slowing down and saying, right, this is how I feel, this is what I want to do. Which group is that in? Is it productive or is it destructive?
Yeah.
We always want to do the destructive thing.
Yeah.
We never want to do the
The
hard
easiest
thing.
option,
Yeah,
isn't it?
it's
Yeah.
always easier to eat the food, skip the workout, skip the walk, feeling sorry for yourself is the easiest thing to do.
And in the long run, it's actually not the easy option.
No,
when
it's harder.
but in the
keeps
moment,
you stuck. It keeps you unhappy. It keeps you feeling like shit.
Yeah.
Whereas I want to try and turn it into something productive. So if I'm feeling stressed, emotional, overwhelmed, whatever, but right, okay, well, this is what I want to do, but I know that's the easy option, and I know that's the thing that's not going to help me. So what can I do that I don't really want to do, but I know will help? So for me, it's always go for a walk. It's ring someone, because a lot of the time I don't want to talk to someone about what I'm feeling like, and I can be on the phone for 10 minutes, and then I'll be like, I'm not having I don't want to tell them I'm not having a good day.
But
I
it is
don't
good
want
to
to tell
talk about
anyone
it.
what
You
I'm
want to acknowledge
actually-
it, do you?
Yeah, I don't want to acknowledge it, but acknowledging it actually starts to make you
Unravel
process
it,
it.
Yeah.
Because you can just crack on and smile all day, every day,
Yeah.
but that doesn't actually help you
Just makes
process
it build up
anything
worse
that's
and worse.
happening.
No, definitely not.
So you could go for a walk, you can ring someone, you can journal, again, something that's hard to do. The amount of times I've sat there like crying, writing, and I'm like, don't even know what I'm writing, but and that just gets it out of you as well. Yoga, meditation's very hard to do, but it helps. So like these, and going for your workout, like when you feel sorry for yourself, you don't want to do these uncomfortable, difficult things. But, and like I've said it before, when you go for a walk, when you go for a workout, all your problems still exist, but your view of them is a little bit different.
1,000%, yeah.
Them endorphins do help.
Yeah,
and
they
like
do.
I say, move your body, move your mood. If you're in a mood, if you're in a funk, get moving, and it helps you. Yeah. So I like to think about these two productive and destructive things.
Yeah.
And like when you find yourself feeling all the feelings, it's like, right, okay, this is how I feel. Which route am I going to do? Yeah. What am I going to choose to do? Because both of them are a choice. If you emotionally eat, that's your decision. You chose to do that. No one like is ramming food down your throat.
No.
Hopefully not anyway, because that is abuse. So trying to slow down and make that decision. And one thing that also helps a lot of my clients with emotional eating or like mindless eating in general is just to actually ask yourself. So when you go to the fridge, you did it when you spoke before. Yeah. Go to the fridge and be like, am I actually hungry? You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, so I'll like sit there. I'm bored. Yeah, or I'm bored.
Yeah.
So
or stressed.
I'll sit there and think, oh, fancy a bit of chocolate. And I'm like, well, hang on. Have I actually got physical hunger? So you feel hunger in your body, don't you?
Yeah.
You don't feel it in your brain, you feel it in your body. So have I actually got physical hunger? No. Okay, so what am I trying to avoid or distract myself from? And it's always when I'm working on something boring on my laptop, I'm like, I need chocolate. Because I'm trying to, my brain is like, you don't want to do this task. You're bored. Yeah. Go and distract yourself with a little bit of indulgence. Or it's like, if I'm stressed, it's like, I don't want to think about the thing that I'm stressed about. So I'm scrolling on my phone or I'm eating food that's not great for me. So it's trying to say like, are you actually hungry? If you're not hungry, what are you feeling then? Yeah. I'm like, right, okay, I'm a bit sad or I'm a bit bored or I'm stressed, and then take the productive route from there.
Yeah. And I feel like as well, if you are, emotionally eating food and stuff, I feel like it's taking it back to the basics, like we said about the food guilt and stuff. If, you have been doing that, which, okay, it is okay, we're all human. It's about then, don't be like beating yourself up and then going for the all or nothing mentality of it. Like it's about easing yourself back into things, like get back out on your walks, don't stay in that funk. Like you don't have to then be like, right, okay, I've got to do 20,000 steps every single day. I'm not going to eat anything now because I've indulged that much. Like, because you sort of, but you're still in that. Yeah. Like, I don't know, you're still in like an emotional state with that thing. You're like sort of avoiding your problems in a...
Focusing too much on the other way.
Yeah. It's like, we need to be like a level of like calmness with it then to actually like realise, why am I doing this? Okay. Well, if you're going out on your walk, just take your time with things now and like slow everything down. Yeah. Everything's a bit too much. And if you are feeling, chaotic and stressed, going one extreme to the other, that's just not going to help.
No, because you're
still in that fight or flight mode.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think, so I actually, not beating yourself up is important. So like I said, I've had times where there's been weeks where I've just not looked after myself, overate, emotionally at and all of that, not exercised. And it's like, that's done. So I was writing a post the other day basically saying it is a complete waste of time and energy for you to beat yourself up about what's done.
Yeah.
How is that a productive use of your time?
You can't do anything about it.
You can't undo it. You can't give all that food back. You can't catch up on the workout. It's done. Accept that bit of time, you did it. It is what it is, and you just need to draw a line under it and
reflect
move
on
forward.
it.
What can you do going forward to feel better in yourself?
Yeah, and I think as well, what you need in that moment is not like self-hatred and like beating yourself up and feeling bad and guilty about it. What you actually need is a bit of compassion and be like, you know what? I care about my body. I care about my mood. So I'm going to do things that help rather than be like, well, I'm going to punish myself because the last 6 weeks I did this and this. I'm going to go all extreme, literally what you were saying. You need to be like, no, I'm actually just going to start taking care of myself. I'm going to go back to basics, focus on sleep, if my watch says I'm only doing 4,000 steps a day, let's aim for 6. Let's just pick a little bit more gradually.
Just ease yourself in.
Yeah.
And just be proud of yourself for pulling yourself out of like that state, you know what I mean? Like it's hard to come out of that. And it's like, like we said, for that little moment like of joy and pleasure of eating that food, but in the long run, you do feel like shit from it. It's not going to help you, and if anything, it's going to have more of an effect on you mentally.
Yeah,
because
long-term.
long term. So when you actually get to that point where you go like, fuck this, I can't do this anymore. I want to feel better than myself. I want to take care of myself, like mentally, physically. Be proud of yourself. Don't look back and be like, oh, why have I done that? Like, it is what it is. Like, you've just got to go forwards and just be proud of yourself for pulling yourself out of that, really, isn't it?
It's just a complete waste of energy to beat yourself up. I just don't, everyone, you can have moments of it like, oh, why did I do that or whatever, but it is just a total waste. It's the least productive thing that you can do.
That you can do,
Yeah, and it's just about like, right, well, what's next then? And it's the same for anyone who's like starting their health and fitness journey. If you feel stuck in a rut, and like you've always had these habits and behaviours that are just part of you. It's like, don't get frustrated by that. Think, right, well, what's next? Like, how can I start changing this to make it more positive for myself?
And as long as you're taking that time for you to work on yourself, then that's amazing. Like, don't be stuck in them like old habits and stuff for so long. And you've got to remember how long it takes to change habits. Like, it's not an overnight thing, is it?
Yeah,
you've got to be patient with yourself on these things. But
so I think general tips for emotionally eating, I would say, obviously manage your mood. Like, accept that eating food, okay, it is like this instant gratification. When you eat nice food, you do have that like little bit of happiness, but it doesn't actually help in the long run. It is instant gratification. It's not something that long term is going to help with your problems. It's not going to solve your problems. So like, accept that it's normal to do. You're not a bad person if you do it, but it isn't helpful also. So try and take the productive route and actually do something that does help boost someone's mood. And it might be getting help with your mental health. It might be,
so it depends on it. Does like what is
address the problem. That's the main thing. Address the problem.
I think you have to address the stress, address the emotion.
Sometimes people don't want to do that, but then
it's hard to do.
It is such a hard thing to do.
Even like before you address it, acknowledge it, like what is actually going on before you actually can do anything about it. Because so many people, like you said about your clients, that go, no, I'm sound, but there's something going on, so you need to have a good sit down with yourself and be like, no, what is causing the problem? Because I do it sometimes. I'm like, why do I feel aggy today? Like, why am I agitated? I'm like, oh yeah. Drew's the best with my mum. My mum goes, well, you've had that going on this week, or you've got this coming up, and I'm like, oh yeah, you're right.
And you didn't realise how.
Sometimes it is like you said, you call someone, talk to someone else.
Yeah, you feel like go easier on yourself. Then it's like, don't make excuses for it and be like, well, because like you can do that. You can get in a rut and be like, well, I have been dealing with this, and carry it on. It's about like addressing the problem.
But does it actually help the problem?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And you can like, give yourself a bit of grace because you have been going through whatever. But then at some point, pull yourself out of it. Like, come on,
someone's got to give.
So try and do something productive rather than destructive thing. I think slowing down as well. So actually asking yourself, am I hungry? And if you're not hungry, what is it? And I think as well, like you can link. People who emotionally are also addicted to scrolling on the phone. Like I've said this loads of times. If I'm not in a good space, my screen time is like double. And so if you find yourself mindlessly scrolling and you can't get away from your phone, ask yourself, what am I trying to avoid thinking about? What am I trying to avoid doing? And it's like, I think scrolling and emotional eating probably go hand in hand in the way that you deal
like
with
them. Like Maltesers on your phone.
And that's literally what you can be like. And for some people with alcohol as well. Alcohol is a huge thing.
One glass of wine's like a whole bottle if you're not even thinking about it. Or...
but like when people have a stressful day, this is something that I'm always speaking to clients about is that like if you've had a stressful day, I understand that you want to come home and unwind with a glass of wine, but how will that help you? Like tomorrow.
You're just forgetting. I think you're just forgetting about your stressful day, aren't you?
It accentuates the like anxiety as well, I think.
It does.
It means tomorrow will be even harder, love. Like it's not going to make you feel better. So I think overall we need to, or everybody needs to. I think like our generation is bad. Like we've got so much stuff to distract ourselves from how we feel that we're not very good at dealing with how we feel. We don't speak about things enough, and like doing the slow stuff, the yoga, the meditation, the reading, like all of that stuff, like helps your nervous system, and then helps you have healthier habits overall and just make better decisions overall. So you're normal.
Yes.
We all emotionally
we all do it.
We all do it.
Even coaches.
But you are in control of making it stop. For sure.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.